Hi friends, this is Krish here. Sorry, I was came live before and I was having some trouble with screen sharing, so which is now corrected. So we can connect now and we can connect now to have a good discussion on Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI. So I hope you are able to see my screen. And this time I think we don't have any problems, any technical problems, and we will be having a very good interactions on Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI. I hope I'm audible to you. And we will be having a very good interactions on Fury, Power Pivot, and Power BI. So, so what is Power Query? What is Power Pivot? And what is Power BI? And what is the use of Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI with supply chain? Right. So we have to find the connectivity of these three of the three with supply chain because we are working in supply chain and we need to do everything which is beneficial to supply chain. If you're using a skill, or if you're using a management technique, or if you're using a technology, or if you're using some kind of processes, everything has to be connected to supply chain. That's how we are actually we have to see the supply chain giving us some kind of if any kind of technology or any process is there, it must give the improvement to supply chain. That is an objective. So how Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI is going to give us the benefit on supply to benefit supply chain and to supply chain. So in these days, that we make supply chain decisions, right? Supply chain decisions using data, right? And you also know the data which we have in the ERP, then that is almost unprocessable data, which is in ERP. Like ERP means enterprise resource planning tools. Examples of enterprise resource planning tools is one of this called SAP, SAP, Oracle, Sage. There are many kind of tools out there in the market. So the most popular is SAP, because it's also SAP. The data which is in ERP is almost unprocessable, unprocessable for analysis and deriving right kind of outcomes, insights to generate supply chain performance improvement. Right. So if you have an ERP, we have a data inside the ERP. We have data inside the ERP, and if we are having that data, which we cannot process for analysis and deriving supply chain performance improvement, right? That is completely it's not very useful for us. But the data which we have is has to be cleaned, transformed, and to be made analyzable. Clean, transformed, and if we clean this data from ERP, if we clean this, if we transform the data, if we enrich the data, then we can analyze. Right? The process of cleaning, transformation, enriching, and these are the three important processes which we need to do. But how many times you want to do cleaning, transformation, and enrichment? The question is how many times you have to do this process. You have to do cleaning, transformation, and enrichment. How many times? How many hours you want to spend on this? right? So how many times you want to do, you want to clean, transform, enrich, and how many hours you want to spend, right? So if you do continuously and every time, and if you spend a lot of times on this particular process, either you have to sacrifice your main job, or right, you have to put more people on this particular operation. Either you have to spend a lot of hours, which is like bottleneck. Also, if you employ more number of people, is also a bottleneck. And if your output is not as per output is not as per expectation, is also a bottleneck, right? So if you spend a lot of hours, it's a bottleneck. If you employ more number of people to minimize the number of hours, it's also a bottleneck. And if you're not getting output as per expectation, then it's also a bottleneck. So to solve this problem, we have a very good tool called very good tool, and is available at no cost, or at the cost of an Excel, or at the cost of the Microsoft Office, that is called Power Query. And we'll also combine Power Query with Power Pivot. Okay, these two tools are available in Excel. Okay, we might have heard pivot various times, because we do pivot chart, pivot tables, and everything. So Power Pivot is also the same thing, but in Power Pivot we can use multiple data sets. We can use multiple data sets, which also called we can also call multiple data models. Okay, the data set is called data model. So we can use multiple data sets, and we can drag and drop the fields from multiple tables or multiple Excel sheets. So here we can do drag and drop from multiple data sets. In the pivot table, you can only drag and drop from one data set, right? I will have five data sets, or six data sets, or seven data sets, right? And I can drag the field from one data set to another into one pivot table, and I can take the second data point from the second table and put into one table, one pivot chart. So how efficient it can become, instead of doing instead of doing 10 pivot charts, instead of doing 10 pivot charts, right? We can complete everything in one pivot chart. So that is what the efficiency of Power Pivot. And Power Query, we can do we can do the cleaning part, transformation part, enrichment part in the Power Query, like what we do. But the only difference in what we do in Excel and what we do in Power Query is that in Power Query, whatever we do, it goes into the memory, and we can automate the entire cleaning process. We don't have to do the cleaning and transformation the next time when we go to the same file. So suppose you're downloading a file from the ERP, and if you want to do the cleaning and transformation again, it is very headache. It's a completely headache one. Yes, we don't want to spend too many times again to the cleaning and all the things. Because you know laborious and how laborious is the cleaning part. And if you don't have the clean data, we will not be able to do proper analysis. Right? So what we want is we want to do proper analysis, but we don't want to spend the same time on cleaning and transformation. So if you want to reduce the same time on cleaning and transformation, then we can suggest you to take the Power Query route. And if you have multiple tables, and if you want to combine the multiple tables into one single report or two single reports, then we have to go with the Power Pivot, right? So once we now understand what is the role of Power Query and Power Pivot. So Power Query is for cleaning, and Power Pivot is for creating the analyzable reports from multiple tables into one report. So if you combine the Power Query plus Power Pivot, you get automated, analyzable, short reports. automated, analyzable short reports. Means you don't have to build big reports, right? You don't want the total data. You don't have to carry a total data along with you. You can carry a small data along with you and you can do the analysis. So automated, analyzable short reports. When you combine the Power Query and Power Pivot. If you do not combine the Power Pivot along with Power Query, you get only automated, clean and transform data. But if you combine the Power Query as Power Pivot, if you combine Power Query plus Power Pivot, you get this automated analyzable short reports. Automated analyzable short reports. This is the benefit of Power Query and Power Pivot. Power Pivot. When you combine Power Query and Power Pivot, this is what you get. But when you don't combine Power Query and Power Pivot, you only use Power Query, you get clean and transformed data. Okay. Now what if you combine Power Query plus Power Pivot, Power Query plus Power Pivot, right? The output of Power Pivot and Power Query you take into Power BI. The output of Power Query and Power Pivot, right? The output which you're getting from here, that output you will take into the Power BI and you get, you know, analyzable, analyzable, fast visualizations, right? Analyzable, fast visualization. So the output is short analyzable report. So data is not a big data. Data is not a big data. Data is small data. When you use Power Query and Power Pivot, you are reducing a big data into a small data or a relevant data, right? That relevant data you're taking into Power BI. So when you take a relevant data into Power BI, your Power BI will be very fast, and you get and your whatever you have is analyzable, and it is very fast, and you don't your Power BI size is very small because you have not taken the total data inside the Power BI. You have taken only the data which is meaningful. So the Power Pivot, Power Query plus Power Pivot can give you only the meaningful data. And this meaningful data you're taking inside the Power BI for data visualization. So how important is the Power Query and Power Pivot, right, for our supply chain? So we don't have to carry all the data inside our Power BI, or we don't need to store all the data in on the local system. Just take the main data into the Power Query, process it, clean it, transform it, enrich it, right? Like you have 7 or 8 tables, create the 7 or 8 tables, put everything, convert them into data models, and after converting them to data models, take into Power Pivot, and then from those 8 tables, take only meaningful data, whatever you have to work on, whatever you want to process. Just take the meaningful data and take that meaningful data after creation through Power Query and Power Pivot inside the Power BI. And once you take that into Power BI, right, you create a very fast and low storage based, load based data visualization within the Power BI. So this is how the process flow which I have discussed. So you can also take the data from Power Query inside Power BI, or you can directly take data into Power BI and process here in the Power Query. Okay, you can first take the Power Query data into Power Query, take the output into Power BI. Or second way, you can also take the data inside the Power BI. And after taking data inside the Power BI, you can now process in the Power Query. The third route is you can take the data inside the Power Query, then you process it in the Power Pivot, then take it to Power BI. Okay. So there are three routes I'm suggesting. First is you can go Power Query, then Power Pivot, then Power BI. Or second route is first route, let's say Power Query, then Power BI. Second route, directly taken to Power BI, then process in the Power Query. And the third route is that you can process in Power Query, then Power Pivot, and then you take it to Power BI. So three routes you can take, and you can process your data to build your data visualizations. Okay. If you have any questions here, please post the questions on the social media, like or comment or chat, place there, and I'll be replying you back. So now what I will do, I'll go inside the models, and we'll create the Power Query, Power Pivot, right? And Power BI. Say one single case, and which will give you the understanding about the Power Query functionalities and Power BI Power Pivot functionalities and the Power BI functionalities. I'll not be giving you the detailed, complete understanding about those things, but I'll be my main job is to give you the introduction and how powerful these tools are. And if you want to learn this entire training program, we can connect with me. I'll be sharing my. You can see my details on the screen, and we're launching a training program from 5th of May. And if you want to join that program, you can connect with me, and I'll be helping you to share the details of the program, and also give you answer your queries. What queries you have, I will be able to answer them also. Right. So first we will go inside the Power Query. So what I'm going to do, I'm opening a new tab here. I'm opening a new tab here, and here I'll go to the data. See, this is data, and there is an option called Get Data here. I'll click on Get Data. I'll go from File, right? I'll click on My File, and from File, and go to Excel workbook, because I'm going to transport the Excel workbook inside the here. So just now I have downloaded some data from my from the system. So I'll be taking some few data from here. Let me take stock detail, stock detail report. I'll click the data set here, and then click on import. Hello, hello. And I'll be helping you. Hello. So let me go back to the Excel now and see. I have getting problem here. We encountered an error while trying to connect the external table is not in the expected format. So okay, let's see the problem here. So this file which I'm talking about, I have downloaded it from the ERP, and the format has an issue there. So let's go to downloads, and I'm going to see the file which I was trying to. This is called stock detail report. So I'm going to open this file, and it is showing here the file format. An extension of stock detail report is doesn't match. Okay, so what do you want to open it anyway? Yes, I'll open it anyway. Okay, so there's a problem in the file format here. Let's see what is the issue. So I don't see any kind of data here. So this data is this particular sheet is blank. So I'll cancel this. I'll try to upload another data, get data and from file from Excel book. I'll extract surplus report. Let me upload this data inside. Again, this has the same problem. So let me go back to the data once again, and I'll say right click, open with Excel. Again, this data is a problem. So let me go back to the download section. Let me open the stock count variance report. Seems like this is going to open. Yes, this is done. I'll click enable editing. Let me go to the file format, save as, and this is web page. Right, this format is in web page, and I'm going to choose Excel workbook. Right, and I'm going to click save now. So I'll go back to the Excel which I opened. Okay, so I'll go here. Okay, again I go data, get data from file from Excel workbook, and I choose stock count variance report, import. So I click on this table, and there are three options at the bottom: load and transform data and cancel. I'll click on transform data because this will take us to the Power Query where we'll do the cleaning of the data. So this is our Power Query window. If you see, this is having four. The top ribbon has home, transform, add column, view, and within every ribbon we will have the second ribbon, second bottom ribbon, where there are all the functionalities of transformation cleaning. And whatever steps I do here, it will all get saved in the applied steps. So whatever I do, this will be saved as a memory inside these applied steps, and we will call this as a and whatever changes I have to do, I will also do changes in these applied steps. For example, if you look at here, I have my field name in the ninth row. I have a field name in the ninth row. So whatever the eight rows are there, they're not required. So I'll go to remove rows from here, remove top rows here, and click on 8 here, and I click OK. And if you see, all the eight unneeded rows are eliminated from here. Now, still, this is my main header, which should come on the top, but it is still not on the top. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go use first rows headers. Click on this and see. Now we got the header on the top: country, location, spare part, description, bin, current. No, there's some problem is there. So this is the current quantity, right? So this is only current. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this change here. I'll write this one as current quantity, right? I'll go to write here transaction date. Okay, I'm going to write here as scanned quantity, right? I'm going to write scan bin. So this is not required scan bin, so I'm going to remove this. I'm going to write here FMS quantity. This is also not required. I'll remove this since I know the data, so I'm removing. So when you work in your data, you also know which one to keep, which one to remove. This also I will remove. Right? This also I will remove. Just now I kept it, but I'll remove this. Right? Transaction date is required. Then last column is what? This is also not required. Okay. Now this data is in somewhat processable form. Now look at here, this transaction date have a different format. This transaction date has a text and number format. So I'll go right click here, change type, and I'll click on date. So now this particular transaction date is in the date format. Okay. Now if your current quantity, this is also in text and number format. I have to make this as a number format. I'll go to change type and I'll click on this full number. So this also become number format, right? So like this, we can change our format, the data types format, and it's very important to change. Now, if you look at, there are some kind of nulls over here. There is no required to null. So I'll go and click on this null. I'll remove this, unset this null. So what happened? I have removed the null also from here, right? So now we have a proper data which we can take into Power Pivot for analysis. Let's say I have one more thing to do here. Suppose there's a transaction date here. I want to break this transaction date into two columns. One is month, another is year. Month and year. So this is, I'm going to click here. I'm going to click add column here. Then I'm going to click date and I'm going to click month. This is a month here. Okay. I'm going to also, I also want a year from this column. I'll click this again, transaction date. I'll click on add column and I'm going to click on year. So this is, I'm getting a year also from here. So this is, I can do the analysis now based upon month and year, right? So this is how I'm breaking my transaction date into month and year, and I will be using this month and year for analysis in the Power Pivot. And also there is location here. This location I want to split into two parts. For SUD means Sudan, AB is city. So this city, country and city are together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to split this. I want this into two columns. I go to split columns from here by delimiter. Okay, and okay, and I'm going to click OK. Now look at the country and location, city are separated. Since there is only one country, I don't require this column also. I'll remove this column. Because this one country means we don't have to, there's no variance. So now we have, okay, this country is again one country is there. Let's remove this also. Now we have a city. Now we have a spare part. Now we have a description, and everything is in right format. We have transaction date in the right format, month, year, quantity in the right format. But this data is now processed. Now I'll take a second data. I'll go to, first before that, I'll go home and I have to click on this close and load drop down and click the second option, close and load to. I click this on a data model, right? This is table and data model. I need these two selections. I want to have table. I want to keep this in a table format, and also I want to say this data with data model. So these two things are required. So after selecting these two things, I click on OK. Now we are getting the queries on the right hand side and with table on the left hand side, right? Whatever we have created there, everything will be in the same format here. Okay. Now I'll go and bring the second table inside. So I'll go to data, get data from file, from workbook, stock surplus report. Did you work on this? Okay. You can change the format. Yeah, same problem we're getting. So what I will do, I'll change the format first. Stock surplus report. Hello. 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 So now we have second report and we call this as a stock surplus report. And it's a very important report. How much stock surplus we have in the inventory for especially for all our SKUs, right? That is what this report is going to be helping us. So again, this report not in the right format. I'll go file and click on save as, and then I'll go to here. This again the web page format. I'll go and click on Excel workbook. So this becomes the data becomes the right format, and I'll go back to the or write Power Query, and I'll go to data. Then I'll go get data and form file Excel workbook. This time, if I bring this report inside the data, I think this we will be able to get it. Look at here. Now let's see whether this report, yes. Now we are able to get this report inside the Power Query. Now I'll again go to the same thing, go to transform data, like we did what we have done for the stock count variance report. Now for stock surplus report also, we're going to do the same process. Again, we see where is our at the row number 11, we have the main headers. Is it row number 11 or is it somewhere else? Reporting date, part number, description, units, right? This is a place where we have our main headers. So there are five rows which we have to remove from here. This is sixth row. So 5 rows we have to remove. I'll go to remove top rows, remove row here, remove rows, top rows, click on six, and then this is 6 rows are being removed. Now, do we have anything else to remove? I think let me delete this step. Probably I made some mistake here. So 5 rows we have to remove. So not 6 rows. We have to remove 5 rows. So I'll put 5 here. Now 6 row is what we're getting as a header. So I'll click on use first row as header. So now we have got the first row as headers here, right? Now what we're going to do is, if you look at here, we have to also see that there are data is starting from row number 10. Rest everything in between that is unrequired. So I'm going to remove 9 rows from here because the data is starting from 10th row. So I'm going to remove top 9 rows here, right? So now the data is in a proper shape. If you see, let me remove this step once again. Let's first remove the nulls. So I remove the nulls from here. Okay. Now I'll remove one more row from here. So wherever we have location cost center, right, we'll remove them now. So all these things we'll remove. It's so simple, right? So simple. Somebody has produced this report in Excel format, in a pivot format. And if you want to work on this pivot format, it's very difficult. It's a very difficult thing. So what I'm going to do is that I think I'm selecting all of them. I should not select them. And I'm selecting this unrequired data. And I'll only keep going to keep whatever is required. Now see, we have a proper sequence. 1, 2. No unwanted data is now available inside this report. The proper sequence 1 to 10, right? Now, second thing, part number is in right format, description is right format. If you want to check whether some format is right or wrong, you have to see ABC, right? If you see my cursor here, it's showing ABC. If it is ABC, you don't and this is text, we don't have to change anything. If it is number, but it is ABC, we need to change it. We'll see if we have any such scenarios in the data. So category, make code, ABC location, nothing, no problem here. Yeah, what we'll do here is make code. If it is null, we'll not take them. We'll not analyze anything which is null. Right? This is now this is again city and countries together. So we'll split that and we'll remove the country because the country is only single country is there. So we don't need to study this, make any analysis based on the country. Now look at here, this is quantity, but this is in text and number format. So this we have to change the format here. We go to change type and click whole number. So now this current type is now showing in only number format because it is showing 1 to 3 here. Similarly, the stock quantity also we have to do the same thing. We have to go to change type, click on the whole number here, and this stock on is also getting converted. The same thing here, average. So average is a number. So I'll go and click on change type again. and put decimal number. Now here maximum stock is already in the number format. Stock in excess is already in the number format. Stock value is not in the right format. So we have to change it to currency format. So I'll make it currency. So this is currency. Stock value in dollars is the currency now. Expected value. Expected value, I think this column is not required. Expected date of, let me say, wherever we have, okay, how long the stock will run, right? So this is also one of things. Now we have stock count variance, stock surplus report. Now we have two tables, right? I'll put one more table inside and then we'll start doing the power pivot. So before that, I'll go to the table and I'll see if I have the right format, stock issue report. If it is not the right format, we'll convert into right format like we have done for the earlier two files. Let's see what is happening here. So let's delete this count variance report. We don't want this. So we will bring the use stock of the use. Now we have to get our stock issue report. We're not able to get stock issue report. So before that, I'll go and close and load here. Close and load two, because just now we have finished the stock. Again, do the same thing. Select table and then select add this data to data model. Click OK. Now we're getting a second table. Now we're going for the stock issue report. I can delete. I can close this stock. Stock issue report is opening now. Let's see the format of the stock issue report. So again, we have to do the editing, enable editing, and we'll check the format of this file. Is it an Excel format or still in a web format? So let's check. Let's go click, then save as. So this is a web page format. So I'll make it workbook format. Click on save button. Then I'll go back to the Power Query. There's a last file which we are going to work on the Power Query, and then we'll move into the Power Pivot. So here is the data. Then go to get data from file from Excel workbook, and I'll be choosing this stock issue report. This is the last conversion we have done from web page to the XLS. So this is now converted, and there's no problem we are facing here. I'll click on transform data. Right now we have a stock issue report. Now what I'm going to do is the first thing I'm going to do is we have to take this part number on the top. Before that we have to remove this first column. I'll remove the first top row and I'll go here one, right? And go and take the first row as a header. Now part number is a header, description is a header. Now let's check if we need to remove something as country, we'll remove. Again, this we have to separate these two together. So I'll go to split column by delimiter, right? Click OK. And now we got our city and country separated. Country we do not want because this is a single country we have. So there's no point to analyze a single country wise the performance or single country wise. So I'll remove this look from here. I'll remove this location. So now we have the city only. And this is since the city is in a text format, so we have text format here ABC, right? Since this is a text format, we have an ABC. This text format, we have an ABC here. So this is in the date format. We have a date format here. There's no problem. There's a quantity in quantity format, no problem. Now, if you see here, this is adjustment value. This we need in the dollar. I'll go to change type and turn into currency. Right. Bin location in text format, no problem. Location in text format, bin location created by text format. Date is in date format, no issue. And comments in the text format. So now we have this also in right processed, right? We don't have any issues now. So I'll go close and load to again same thing. The table and data model. Table is already selected. Data model is not selected. So I'll click on data model, click OK. So now we have a file with three tables and all are transformed, cleaned. Though we have not use all the tools available in the Power Query to do the cleaning because we didn't require that. But we may have to do a lot of hard work if the file is in a very complex shape. So we may have to work very in depth. We have to use the Power Query functionalities in depth. As of now, we don't require anything here. So nothing to worry now. So now we'll go to the Power Pivot. So for that, I'll go to any of one of the report. Let me delete this additional sheet too. There's an additional column here. So now we have the three tables here, right? Now I'll go and click on insert. If you look at the pivot table, drop down is there. I'll click on drop down. See now we have three options here from table range, from external data source, and from data model, right? So I'll choose data model from here because I know if it's giving us an option, do you want to create a pivot table in a new worksheet or existing worksheet? We don't have any space here. So I'll go to new worksheet, click OK. Now what we have here is our pivot table. Click go to options, go to display, go to classic pivot table. I click classic pivot table. Now I'll make a report. So we have three data models from here. So I'll take stock issue report from here and I'll take the part number. I'll put here. This all the data part number is here. Now I want to take the issue quantity here. Right. This is the issue quantity. I'm putting it in the value section, and we have some negative values here because these negative values are showing the transaction type. Let's see what is the transaction type if we have that issue, right? If anything issue means negative value, right? If any issues are happening means it is decreasing from the store or from the warehouse or from the bin. That's why it is showing negative value. Okay, so what I will do, I'll go back to the Power Query and I'll convert this quantity into positive value. So what I will do, I'll click on the query, I'll go to edit. This is one transformation we have to do now. I'll go to stock issue report. I'll go to add column. Okay, I'll go to custom column. I'm going to write issue quantity here. I'm going to write absolute number absolute, and I'm going to choose the column name that is our quantity. Right. So this is a code I have written. Close the bracket, and this is working well. Let's see. The negative number has become positive here now. So I've written a code, and this code, the in Power Query, whatever codes we write, we call that as M query. Right. It's very simple. It's not very complicated. So now the issue quantity, which was -1 earlier, had become a +1. Right. And the reason why we made it -1 to +1 because it's very confusing for people. By looking now, some people may see -1 become very worried. Some no, so that's why we are making -1 to +1. Right. Since that we have done the transformation, I'll go to home and close and load. So now it's ready. Now I'll go back to the sheet 3. And now I go because since we have added some new columns, so that's why to refresh, we want all those new columns inside. For that, we click on refresh all or refresh. So once we click refresh, we'll be able to see the new column which we added. If you don't click refresh, you may not see the new column immediately. See the issue quantity is available now. The issue sum of quantity, I'll take the issue quantity. So now we have positive numbers here. So earlier was negative numbers, now we have positive numbers. This issue is solved. Let's see how many issues we get now. Now we have got issue quantity from here. We also get a date of transaction. So now we got a date of transactions also here. 2017, 2021, right? We have got the date of transactions. So I'll hide this as the data points. We don't require this. So transaction that we got here. If you click on this plus sign, you get the details. Right. So I'll click on back. Okay. So now we have got this. Now suppose if I want to transport the data. Now let me minimize this stock issue report. Now suppose if you want to transport some data from the stock surplus report inside this report, right? So since we have built the pivot table using only stock issue report, now I want to transport a data point from stock surplus report inside this report. That's what the beauty of, so let's say current quantity. So what is happening here is that it is not giving us a current quantity. It's saying that there is no relationship between these two tables. There's no relationship in these two tables. So it's asking us to create or auto detect. So what I'll do, I'll go back to the query again. Now, before going to query, what I will do is, let me save this. Okay. So I'll go here and click on this pivot table, power pivot. I'll call this as detect relationships. So it's not working here. Click on manage. Let's see if we can get a relationship here. Okay. So before that, let me also do one more thing. I have to create a unique table here. So let me go to the Power Query, edit. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll create a part. These are part number, right? I'll go stock issue report, and this is part number. I'll create one more table from here, a duplicate table, stock issue report, and only I'll keep part number and I'll delete everything from here. Okay. Now what I'll remove all the duplicates from this part number. Okay. So this become my part number table. Only part number where we have only unique part numbers. So now I'll go to close and load to. I'll click on this data model and table, right? Okay. Now what I will do, I'll go to sheet number 3 and I'll click on this pivot table. Go to Power Table Analyze. There's an option called relationships here, right? I'll click on this relationship. Click on New. I'll choose a table. A table is what? Part number table. I'll choose a part number from here. I'll choose another table that's called stock count variation report. I'll choose the where is a part spare part, right? So it's saying both the certain columns contain duplicate values. At least one of the okay. Just now we did the part number and we took out the duplicate values. I think this has not worked. So what we'll do, we'll go back again to see to the Power Query and remove the duplicate values from the part numbers. So we can build relationship only if one of the table has unique values. So right now, right click here, remove duplicates. So two times I've done and still I'm getting some duplicates over here. And why we're getting duplicates, let's see that. Let's go to format here, transform, format, trim. Okay, I did the trimming here. Now I'll do trimming has been done. Still, if you have any duplicates, there will be a problem. Let me take a risk, close and load. So let's go. I think some problem. Let me save this file. Let's try this report once again. Relationship building. Create. I choose a part number table. Part number data module. Select the part number from here. Let's take the stock covariance report. Select the spare parts from here. The both selected columns contain duplicate values. At least one of the columns selected must contain only unique values to create a. So again, there's a problem here. So let me check if we have the duplicate numbers inside here. What are the duplicates? If I go and click on this, we have right now uh, data here, and if you go to the fetch are not available, if we click on this fetch, and we have the fetch, four duplicates were found and removed. Now I'll go back to sheet number three and create a relationship once again. Let's see the part number from here, stock count variance report, data model, spare parts. Still, both the column contain duplicate values. At least one of the columns selected must contain only unique values. Again, we have a problem after removing also. So for that, we need to save. Saving is not happening. Okay. Let's see if this. If it gets saved, I think it will be good. So now let's get again. So many operations we have to do, right? This is the real-time problems we get. We have done our best to remove duplicates, but still showing up. Okay, still there are duplicates even after removing them. So can I do refresh here? You would analyze refresh. Let's see after refresh, it is going to take the new data, which we have new data means we have removed the duplicates. Okay, so let's create again and let's see the part number if this time this works or not. If it doesn't work, then we have to do some more checks. Let's say stock conveyor, stock spare parts, still showing the same thing. Let's check with some other table, surplus report, and we have here the part number, average categories, and part number is again the same problem. So I think we have to go inside the part number here and check what are those duplicates. We cannot check this manually. Of course, we have to check using. So I can write a formula here. Now, if this is a range, and we click on F4 here, something for comma, this number. Let's see wherever we have more than one. Everything is one only, but why it is showing two? Right, there's a problem. Everywhere it is showing one. There is no repetitions. Even this is also one, also one. Let me delete this. So why we are getting duplication over here? What's the question? Let's create a part description table. If we have, if we can resolve this problem using a part description table. I'll go to stock issue report again and create duplicate of this. And I'm going to take description all this time and remove the columns. Click remove duplicates. Right, some duplicates have been removed. If any blanks are there, we should also remove the blanks from here. Right, the blanks is also removed from here. In the part number also, let's check if we have any blanks. No, we don't have any blanks in the part number. So this is our part description table. Let's see if we can use this and solve our problem. Click on close and load to and table and data module. Click OK. Okay, so now what we go to pivot table analyze query. And okay, let's go to click here, insert pivot table, data model. Okay, options. Click on display. Then we go to classic pivot table. Click OK, and then I'll go to part description. Click on the bring the description over here. Then I'll go to stock issue report. I'll click to bring the quantity inside here. See, all the quantities come same, right? We don't want this quantity also. I'll go and create part description is my data model. Click on part description. Go to stock issue report, and select description also from here. Let's see where the description column adjustment, reason, reference, bin location, command, description. So again, the same problem. At least one of the columns has to contain only unique values. So where is the problem coming here? Let's say part description is there. So let me again select this column and go to the data. Right. So let me select this. Where is that problem coming? I think we have some. So 35 duplicates have been removed. So our query is not detecting them properly. Okay, let me save. It is already saved. Go to there, go to part description, sheet number 2. Right now, we'll create the relationship. Go to this part description. Select the description from here. Let's go to the stock issue report. So description. Again, we're seeing the same thing. Both selected columns contain duplicate values, at least one column should do. So there is a problem still lying inside here. So what is the problem which we have? And how to detect that? So let's say key. There's option called key. So how many times this key is coming? Single time. So let me run a pivot table here and see. I'll take the description in the here. I'll take the description over here also. So if you get anywhere two, I think all is one. 1598. There's a 1598. And if I put this inside here. So there are 1598. And how much we have here? For description. Again, the 1598. So there's no issue. Let's go to part numbers. How many part numbers do we have? 2001 right? There's some issue here between part numbers and part description. There is issue, some issues there. That's why here we're saying 2001 and we are saying here 15999. So what I'll do, I'll go to query again and combine the part description and part number together. I'll delete this part number table. See how difficult a simple thing, but how many difficulties we're facing here. So if I'm trying to find solutions, so I'll go to stock issue report again, create a duplicate out of this or reference out of, sorry, delete this. Let me create a reference out of this. And I'll take key part number and part description and remove other columns. Okay, and I'll select both of them and remove the duplicates together. Okay, now we'll give this name as part underscore description. Right, I'll click those close and load. I'll let me select it one more time and click on remove duplicates. Now let's transport this data inside how many columns we have now. So how many rows we have? 2121 rows. Now let's select these two rows and click on this. And again, I'll go here, data, remove duplicates. Let me see if it can remove any more duplicates here. One duplicate has been removed. And I'll also remove any blanks are there. I think a lot of blanks are there here. There's a nut. There is a nut. This nut is characterized by 7014. So let's see if we can detect from here. So before this, we'll go inside the Power Query again. Click on Edit. I'll select Power Description. I'll go to Extra. I'll go to the Format option. make everything uppercase. Right, make everything uppercase. Now let's try to see if we have any duplicates. Now still we are seeing here fuel filter and fuel filter. So they have different codes here. Fuel filter is almost here and we have different code here. So description wise and part number wise we cannot combine because it is the same code, same description having multiple codes. Right. So I'll remove this. What is the issue we are have to detect here? So now the next. So let's see if we can. Well, we are still getting duplicates and we don't have duplicates. So why the system is reading a part number, then let's say column is counters, and we have single count here. So there's no duplicate. Why it is showing duplicate? That's the question, even though we don't have duplicates. Okay, so let's me home, close and move. 2121 and everything is one here. Let me still check our Excel version. It's data and then remove duplicates. One duplicate has been removed. So getting saved here. When you go to pivot, let's go to pivot. Remove this. Go to insert the pivot table from data model. Let's see if we are able to solve the problem. And we are calling that as a pod description, pod and description. This is a pod and description. So let's take, we are having a pod description, putting this here. Now I'll take from stock issue report, the pod quantity. Let's create a relationship. Part underscore description. Take the description. Maybe part number. Let's see what's working up in stocks and management. And let's take the category, current, part number. So now this is solved. Now we are not seeing duplicates here. So let's create this table. Both selected columns contain duplicate values. At least one of the columns must contain only unique values. Duplicate relationship. Strange, very, very strange. Now let me take the part from here. So creating relationship between they are necessary to show it. I'm deleting some tables which are not readed. So here we have, let me go to the right click, edit. We have a strange problem here because we're getting everything, the count of each and every part number is one. But our system is showing that there's duplicate values here. Let's also create before that city column also. We create some more duplicates. Part number. So let's create a duplicate report here. And let's take only the category from here, remove other columns. And let's remove duplicates from here. So we are left with equipment, tools, special tools, consumable, duplicate, tires, and okay. There's a category. Now we'll go to again stock issue report, create a duplicate. We'll only put a city inside. Let's remove all of the columns. Again, remove the duplicates from here. So we have FSR, PZU, NYL, KRT, KSL, GNA, HAB, OBD, KST, GRD, DMZ, ZL, K2, KAD, GAD. So we don't have any OBD, we don't have any repetitions here. I also remove the null from here. I think we have all unique cities here. Right. I'll go to stock issue report and create a duplicate again. And let me remove this as a, so this is city. Let's create a stock issue report, and this time we have location, we have city, location, city, and we have location, city, and then stock surplus report. Category also we have done. We have done category. Make code is there. So let's see if we have make code in this. Okay, make code is out there. Spare part code is there. City, do we have city? Yes, we have city here. We have city here also. We have category here. In the stock issue report, do we have the category? We don't have the category in the stock issue report. Do we have to get category here? We don't have a category here also. So category is available in the only one single table, so it is not required. City is there in all the tables. Stock issue report, we have a city. Stock surplus report, also we have city. And stock count variance report, also we have city. So all this column we have a city. The only problem we're getting is in the part description where we have everything, but still showing it is duplicate. So let's build a table using city. I'll go to close and load. Now I'll build a relationship using city. Let's click on the insert pivot table data model. Click OK. Right. Click options, display and classic pivot table. Click OK. I'll go to city call city. I'll bring the city over here. Right now, I'll go to stock variance, stock issue report. Okay, I'll try to bring here the quantity. It's not working, so I'll not quantity. We'll go and create the table now. So city data model, take city over here. Location cost center. Then take stock issue report, data model stock issue report, and then take the location cost center here also. Again, we are facing the same because our network contains duplicate values. Okay. So now we are able to create this report by combining two different. I'll go to stock issue report and I'll take the issue quantity from here. Issue quantity. So this city is coming from location table, and this issue quantity is coming from. We have to get the sum of the issue quantity. We cannot summarize this table because this field is not in right. Okay, so we'll go back to the query. So right now the format is not in a proper way. So I'll go to stock issue report, correct the format of issue quantity. This is in text format. So I'll go change type and click on the whole number. It'll become a text type and I'll go and close and load. Now it will work. Right. So now we do the value fill settings and some of the issue quantities. So this is the issue quantities per city. Now if I want to bring the stock from other table, I want to bring the stock count variance report. From here, I want to bring the current quantity. What is the current quantity? So here also the same problem. We can go and create the report, relationship. Go create and choose the part description here. City, sorry, city. Click on city here. Now go to stock variance report, stock count variable. Again, choose the city here. Click OK. Now look at here. We are able to combine the three tables now. We are able to create pivot table from three tables. One from the location table, other is from the issue table, and third is from the variance table. This is the beauty of Power Pivot. We are able to create reports from three different tables. Now I'm going to put one more table here. We have stock issue, we have stock count variance, and now let's go to stock surplus report. And from here, I'll try to bring the make code, but it's not going to work because again it will ask us relationship. So we go to table city, create a city here. Now go to stock surplus report, take city from here. Click OK. Right now, if you look at here, we are able to create the make code, bring the make code here. But what is the problem? I think there is no relationship between. Yeah, so we'll create it, table city, location costs, and okay, we don't have the relationship with the make code. So let's create a relationship with the make code also. I'll go to the stock issue report, go to query, go to edit. Okay, so make code is not available in all the columns. I think that's why it's not able to create. So there's make code is not available in the all the columns. So we'll be eliminating the make code from there. Click on close and load. Go to sheet D and I'll remove the make code from here because it is not there in all the tables. Now the report is going well. So city, then we have the issue quantity, then we have a current quantity, right? So now if you go to stock surplus report, we can bring anything else. Average maximum stock. Let's bring maximum stock from here and put it here. Let's bring stock in excess also from here and put it here. So now look at here, we have combined four different tables and we're getting one report from here, right? We don't need four tables data. We need only one pivot report. And this is our main report. From four different tables, we took them into into Power Pivot, and combined four different tables to create one pivot report. This is the beauty of this, right? So now what I'm going to do is this, I'm going to make this called main report. I'm going to take this main report into Power BI. So whenever we're working on the live report, we have to close that. So now I can import this data inside my Power BI. I have to get only the one report that is called main report. This is a main report. Rest all these tables I don't require because I have created this main report using all other. Click on transform data. Now we are working into Power BI. Right. So what I'll do, I'll create the same thing here, transform, let's say use first was header. So now we have a data over here. I'm going to remove the last column also. So I'll go to transform, okay, home, and go to remove rows and I'll go remove bottom rows. I'll remove the bottom row here. I click on one, click OK. So last row is removed. Now this is a report which you are going to use to create a, a visual in the Power BI. So let's do that. There are a lot of things we can do, but I will not be elaborating all those things because we have short of time. So I'll go, if you look at here, this is my table on the right hand side. It's getting loaded now. Loaded now, this is a table which we have. These are the columns we have. right? Now what I'll do, I'll go to card here. Instead of because I'll go to line chart first. This is a line chart. Okay, now I'll go my put my location in the x-axis, the sum of current values in the y-axis. Okay, these are first. I'll put the issue quantity also on the y-axis. I'll put my maximum quantity on the y-axis. I'm going to stocks in hand and the y in the y-axis. This is my visual. And this is city wise, right? I'll create a filter here. Sorry. I'll create a filter now and I'll put city inside it. If I want to understand this data by a city, I can also do that by if I just click on KRT, we get the data on KRT only. What is output on the KRT, right? Want to set one more city, I can get the output for this city also. Now what I'll do, I'll put one card here. Sorry. And this card is going to get the metrics. Okay. So I'll put this number inside this. So this gives me the sum of the current quantity for the GAD. Similarly, I'll put one more card now. This is sum of the issue quantity for GAD. I'll put one more card. Put one more card here, and this is let me put some of the issues, stock issue quantities, stock on quantity. So this is one more stock in excess, right? Right. So right now, if you see, if I select these cities, it gives the metric by cities. But I have to get select all also here. So I'll go to settings, sizer settings here, sizer settings. I got selection. Give me select all option also. So now we have select all option. If you go select all option, now we get the overall metrics for all the cities together. Now, if I want to get few metrics, CTA and DMZ, I got CTA and MD's metric. So such a big data has been reduced into a small data, and from the small data, we are able to build our metrics like this. Such a beautiful, it's a very beautiful concept, the Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI. Of course, there will be some challenges, right? So we need to find solutions as usual, like we have work in other fields. So we have to find solutions to bring the metrics, to bring work on the solutions, right? So this is how, guys, we can use Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI together to create easy solutions, fast solutions, relevant solutions, actionable solutions. And if you want to learn this powerful skill, because right now every industry wants people who can work on Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI. It's going to make you very, very productive and competitive, and which will fetch you a good salaries. And if you're looking for a good job as a fresher, or if you're looking for a good job anywhere, whatever level you are, you'll be able to get a good job once you showcase the skills of Power BI, Power Query, and Power Pivot. So we're starting a new batch from 5th of May, and if you want to connect with me, you can see the email ID and the phone number on the screen. So please connect with me, and we will be providing you a detailed training on Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI. So I would like to take this sign off from here. And if you have any questions, please do post on the social media. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you very much, guys, for your time and patience to listen such a long session on Power BI.